Well, we're driving on the Irish countryside on the west coast, the Atlantic coast. Kind of the Atlantic, they call that the Atlantic Wild Way or something like that. Look at all the property. They're separated by these rock walls instead of fences. You see sheep inside the rock walls. This road is 100 kilometers an hour, which is probably about 50 miles an hour, but it's such a small, tiny, narrow road with tons of blind corners that if you're driving 50 miles an hour on this road, you have to really know the road. And if there are any big trucks on the road, you can see on the left there's no shoulder or anything. We've
After 400 meters,
see, like,
turn
look at this.
left.
A little stressful. You look to the right, you can see the sheep walls. Well, of course we go behind a bush here, but you can see the walls. Actually, look in front of us. See how they use the rock walls to separate all the property and keep the sheep separated.
Turn left.
It's been challenging driving on the left side of the road, but we're actually headed towards the Cliffs of Moher. Which is one of the scenic places you can go and take pictures of the Atlantic coast. They say it's really cold, very windy. We've seen glimpses of the coast on this little drive from Galway to the Cliffs of Moher. It's about an hour and a half drive or so. And this is the first mountain we've kind of drove up. If you look off on the right, you can actually see the Atlantic Ocean off in the distance. Some of the various bays they have here and all that. I think we're about 40 kilometers or 23 miles or so away from the Cliffs of Moher. But everything here is rock wall. You don't see fences or wooden fences or anything like that. It's pretty spectacular. You see the property up here on the hills. Beautiful green. This country gets a lot of rain, being right next to the ocean, right to Vietnam Island. Apparently it rained for a couple days straight. The waters really rose, and our drive-through yesterday morning, the whole of Ireland was covered in fog, and they said it has to do with the changing of the temperature. So it actually got warmer when we arrived, and the fog signaled our arrival. We got to see a beautiful castle in Kilkenny, pronounced -1L, Kilkenny, which always makes me think of South Park, right? Oh my God, they killed Kenny. But they have this town named Kilkenny. We met three ladies from Australia there who kind of gave us some tourist tips about traveling to Australia, which was cool. This morning we had breakfast at our hotel, the Glenlow Abbey Hotel, which was this phenomenal, beautiful chateau from the 18th century, 17th century. I mean, it was incredible. Golf course right there, fishing right there, archery, falconing, everything you could imagine for the Irish countryside was right there. And this morning when we had breakfast, we were eating directly from the honeycomb. They brought it in a tray, and I've never had honey directly from the honeycomb. And we were talking to the man who was running the restaurant, who was from Croatia originally. He said he grew up in a farm, and that's just kind of the norm for them. No big deal. For us, we felt like royalty. For him, it was like, typical breakfast. So anyways, we'll get some pictures of the Cliffs of Moher, and what we've seen online. They're pretty phenomenal, and expect us to be bundled up. I expect it to be pretty cold. But this is the Wild Atlantic drive from Galway to the Cliffs of Moher. And I'm guessing that we're on Hazel Mountain, because this is Hazel Mountain chocolate to our left. And man, do I want to stop, but I'm going to resist, because I've gained about 15 pounds on this trip, between haggis and black and white pudding, which is actually sausage, and what a rashers, which is bacon, but here in Ireland it's proper bacon. It's actual, like, slabs of ham that's been pan fried. Different kind of fish. A tulbit last night, which is a white fish, like a halibut. And Bailey had salmon, and this morning we had smoked salmon and fresh sourdough bread, the big loaf. It was incredible, right? It was incredible. Bailey said today it was her best birthday ever. So I'm feeling pretty good from the husband standpoint. Anything you want to add, babe?
No, I think that's it.
Anything you'd like to say? No, I don't. Oh, all right. Anyways, love everyone. Talk to you later.